Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and today we have a Remocon lock from Spain. And I rarely ever buy locks which are new, but every time I see an affordable Dimple lock that I haven't picked before, I try to get one. And I found this on eBay, which is unusual because I've never seen this make before. If you are from Spain or know anything about Spanish locks, have you ever heard of Remocon? I assume that's RS Remocon Spain, and I assume again that this is a Fenix cylinder. So I think this is the Remocon Fenix. That's what I'm going to call it. If my Spanish was better, then I would be able to tell you more about it. It came with the key card and everything as well, and it has no more information on it than the actual box does. But it does tell us that it is. It's got 6 pins, anti-bump, anti-snap. I guess it's a security cylinder and a double. Yeah, I don't know what that means, so I'm not going to try. One thing I will have to do is take these circlips off before I pick. They're my least favourite circlips to remove because they are they're just like compression ones. They're not sprung, so they're a real pig to get off. But I'll do that quickly before I pick it. Other than that, yeah, I'm just interested to know what's going on in here. Now, you may recognise this if you've seen one of my videos recently on some Chinese self-sprung bump keys, I guess you want to call them, like a bump key tool. And this was very hard to bump. In fact, I didn't manage to bump it. So the anti-bumping does work. I'm kind of curious as to why it doesn't work. It doesn't seem to have any trap pins. There's some anti-drill bars, some hardened steel rods that go through to, I guess, protect from drilling. There's a snap line here with a bit of sprung steel, I imagine, to fill in that gap. So yeah, it's not a bad cylinder, all in all, and a very, very common keyway. Right, let's throw this in a vise, see if we can't pick it and then gut it. Okay, so we are in the vise. Here is that pesky circlip, which will be even harder to get on straight, but we'll worry about that later. There is the key with its not too bad bitting. We have sort of a medium-high cut, very high cut here, a short keeping in position 2, medium high cut again, then a very deep cut, probably like almost zero lift in pin position 4, medium cut in pin position 5, then another high cut short keep in pin position 6. Let's just check everything's working smoothly without ripping the core out. Now it's got the circlip removed. Pop in a turner. Now we're going to turn into where I'm going to be picking, so that and medium to firm tension. Pin position, pin 1 is binding, little click. Pin 2, a little something. Pin 3, a little click. Do you hear that click? Pin 4 is binding. I want to slide past that if I can. Oh, do you see the core move that tiny amount? I certainly felt it. 5, little click. 6 now. Oh, wow. There were no spool pins. I couldn't feel any security pins at all. And we have the open. So I'm going to turn this all the way around and gut from the front, I think. So no trap pins there at all. So that was a little disappointing, truthfully. It happens on occasion. And the pins will be... Get this in. Might need to get something to... A little hook or something. Yeah, that'll do. Pop that down. Hold these pins down. Pop this in. I think that should get everything nicely. There we go. Right, let's take this out. See if we can't gut this nicely. So now I think I should be able to pull the plug out from this position. There we go. I hope so. I hope I don't have to remove the these little clips on the side. Shouldn't need to, but might. Because these little clips can sometimes hold the plug in as well. That would be annoying if I had to do that. I'm hoping I don't have to. It is moving out a little bit, but it could be that we do. that would be frustrating, so I might need to then re-pick this. No, should be right. There we go. Oh, of course I had to get it the wrong way up. There we go. Every time. Here we go. So I'll get these pins in the right position. These look like they actually are pretty good key pins. Sort of, yeah, didn't expect that at all. Let's try and grab my tweezers. Let's pop them into their original positions. Oh, okay, that was a good guess. Then we'll have a look at those in a minute. Right, good. Let's tip those out in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anything interesting in the plug? Probably not, but you don't know till you look. Okay, so a bit, it's obviously been lubed with graphite, and there's nothing interesting there. You can see the cut through the plug here at pin position 2, which is part of its anti-snap feature. Other than that, nothing going on with that plug at all. That's just the spacer before the cam. Now let's do the other bit. And we'll go this way. Another thing I always get wrong. Right, here we go. Ah, I didn't feel any spools, but that is definitely a double spool. That's definitely a spool. Another double spool. I must have really got lucky picking this. Nothing felt like it came into play. It's probably just a artifact of the bitting. Oh, well, luckily they're both spools, so don't need to worry about pin position. And it even looks like the key pins are spooled as well, like an overset trap, because that's actually pretty good. I'm going to try to remove the springs from this as well, one at a time, just see if the springs have anti-bump features. As in, are they different metal? So like, do we have steel and then like a brass one? Steel again. Steel again. Steel again. I'm not seeing what makes this anti-bump just yet. And steel again. Okay, so it could just be these security pins. I can't see an anti-bump pin, like a little barrel pin or anything there. It's probably just by the nature of the fact it has these security pins in every position makes it harder to bump, but there's nothing specifically about this lock which appears to make it sort of anti-bump. Sometimes anti-bump pins, quite common in squire locks, they sit actually just at a ledge on the inside of the plug, resting above the pin, not on top of the pin, so it doesn't drop down all the way into the keyway. It sort of sits in a little groove at the top. That's quite a common anti-bump feature. These are just really nice pins, actually. I'm quite surprised. You can see here how these key pins are spooled. So all of these are spool key pins, which is really nice. And that means that if you overset these, they'll go into a bit of a false set. Feel like you've got into a false set on a driver pin, but actually you've overset a key pin and it won't open until you reset. So yeah, I'm just surprised that with such nice pins and a reasonable bitting, we didn't get any sort of spool pin action, especially on these smaller key pins like pin position 6 and 2 here, where I've expected at least to fall into a full set with that spool pin, or this double spool should feel a bit more like a serrated pin. I didn't get really any of that in the feedback, so yeah, unusual. They should have come into play. I'll just try that spool pin in pin position 2 just to double check. But we should have actually had enough of the spool showing to go into a bit of a false set. Oh, well, look at that. It sort of sits on top. Is that the... Yeah, it's one of the deepest ones. Let's look at pin 6 then. Ah. Right, so these are the highest cuts on this key. By a long way. They're like almost no cuts at all. But yet, these pins don't actually engage with the... so they should be down low so that you fall into this sort of little serration. But you can see here that this pin and whatever I did with that spool pin, it's going to be somewhere here is, don't actually engage with the plug enough to fall into a full set like this. They actually just act like standard pins. That is weird. Why would they go to all that way to have genuinely nice pins? But the way that they've made this lock, the pins rest so... Let's try this long one. Where does that sit then? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I mean, that barely needs to be picked at all. You can see that pin here, this spool pin, is barely needs to be set. So you just like rub past that pin, and it's already just set. That is, if I'm to be so bold, just bad lock design. You should have key pins which sit far lower in the lock to allow the security pins to actually work. The only good thing about this is these spooled key pins, which if you did overset them would be probably tricky and challenging. But yeah, well, that explains why. It's just doesn't work as intended. Makes it a lot easier pick as long as you're not too heavy-handed. So yeah, there you go. That is get the box, the Remocon Fenix. Not an awful lock in terms of anti-bump, anti-snap, all those kind of things, but just clearly the security features of the driver pins just don't really work. The best thing about this in this lock is obviously these serrated key pins. They clearly work, and they probably act quite well as an anti-bump feature. You know, if these get bumped straight up into the plug, they might get trapped. But yeah, that's surprising. Anyway, look, hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did having a good old look at this lock. If you did, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button if you think I deserve it, and that notification bell. If you have any comments, leave them below. I do read them all, reply to as many as I can. Otherwise, stay safe, happy picking, and I will see you all next time.